So let's start with the questions, answers, and let me verify with some people's answer. So some people feel comfortable to answer number one. What do you think that number one is? Yes, raise your hand. Yes.
Negative 188 over 6.
188 over what? 63? 663. Does everybody agree with that? Okay, good job. You already did better than your brother right there. Uh, so number two, anybody else? Yes.
32 over x 24.
I don't think that's right. Is that right? 9y to the 32. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. 9y to the what?
32
Uh-huh.
over and then x 24.
On the bottom?
Yeah.
Like this? Everybody agree?
You're more than
You cannot see, sorry.
Yeah.
That's good?
Yeah.
Okay. 3. Yes. Yeah, you. Murphy, right? Last name. Liliana Murphy, right? Oh, what's her then? Sydney Kelly. Okay.
I got x to the 10th power over 4y to the 2nd power.
Everybody agree? Okay, good. 4. Oh, 4 is interesting. Yes, Emily.
I got 77 over 324.
Does everybody agree with that? Okay, yes. You have different questions? You thought was negative? Negative 77 over 324? It's negative or positive? It's a positive? Okay, so double check your math. Yes. Yeah, of course, I can do that question. So, some people says, can I go over it? Of course, I can go over it. 8 to the negative 2/3, so it'd be 1 over 8 to the 2/3. Is that okay? Minus 1 over 27 to the 4/3. And that's equal to the third roots of 8 minus third root of 27. This is to the square, this is to the fourth. Now, I don't want to do a square. I want to do cube root first. Cube root is easier than the square and then cube root. So I will actually do this first. So it'll be 2 to the 2 minus the cube root of 27 is 3 to the fourth. So that's equal to 1 over 4 minus 1 over 81. And then I need to combine fractions. So I'm going to multiply this by 81 over 81. And this one 4 by 4. And that should be 81 minus 4, so it's 77, and this is 324. It's positive.
Yes, because I thought it was a negative sign, but it was actually an equal sign.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. That's a negative sign. Did that help you, number 4? Do you understand it? Okay, good. Number 5. Number 5, I'll go over it. It seemed like a lot of people got it wrong, so I'm gonna. I see some people leave it blank, so I'll go over it. So it'll be 54 over 2, x to the negative 2/3, x to the negative 4/5, y to the negative 7 over 2, and y to the negative 5 over 2, and the whole thing to the negative 2/3. It looks pretty massive, but I will not distribute the power in first. That will not be my first thing. My first thing is to simplify inside because the order operation told me to do the parentheses. So that's equal to 27x negative 2/3 minus negative 4/5. So this becomes negative 2/3 plus 4/5. Is that okay? So subtract top, subtract bottom. And I need to multiply this by 5 over 5, and this 3 over 3. So that's going to be 15 to the negative 10 minus 12, or plus 12. So it's actually 2 over 15. Is that okay? Y to the negative 7 over 2 minus negative 5 over 2. That means adding. And that's going to be negative 1. It's really nice. Negative 2 over 3. So then it's going to be equal to 27 to the negative 2 over 3, x to the negative 4 over 45, I think, y to the 2 over 3. Anything negative, switch side. 27 to the 2/3, x to the 4 over 45. And that means cube root of 27 is 3, 3 to the square is 9, so y to the 2/3, 9x to the 4 over 45. Do I do it right? Yes. If you did that, you're a genius. A lot of calculus students don't know how to do that. Some people leave it blank. I don't want you to leave it blank. I want you to try it. Yes.
Can you zoom it in again?
Sure. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, gonna keep on going. Is that okay? Okay, so 6. I did not teach 6, so I'm gonna go over 6. I'm gonna just drag this down a little bit more so I can have more space. So 6. Now this is something I didn't teach you, but every time you put something, you put a parenthesis. Do your teacher ever tell you to do that? Put a parenthesis every time you substitute something. And that's something that you need to do. So here it's going to be negative 2 times negative 2 squared minus negative 3 squared over 3 times negative 2 to the third minus negative 3 to the second. Did you guys do that?
Yeah.
If you do that, you put a parenthesis, it's really hard to get it wrong. Even though a lot of you guys can do it in your head, but it's very scary because sometimes you're not good at keeping track of things. Now, here's what people usually make mistake is the first part. Which one's going to go first? This one's exponent, right? So it's going to be 4, right? Because negative times negative is 4. Because you got negative 2 times negative 2, that's equal to 4. So 4 times negative 2 is equal to negative 8. Is that okay? Minus, what's negative 3 squared? 9. And the bottom here, what's negative 2 to the third power? Is it positive or negative? Negative 8. Because you got negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. If you write it out, this is going to be positive 4 times negative 2. And that's equal to negative 8. So that means every odd powers end up to be negative. So it'll be negative 8 times 3, so it'll be negative 24. Minus 9. So that's equal to minus 33 over minus 17. So it'll be 17 over 33. Is that okay? Anybody got it wrong? Do you know where you got it wrong? Where?
Found the answer and then put it in numbers first. That made it for me to make myself.
Okay. Anybody else got it wrong? Yeah, where?
I didn't do 24 negative. I forgot to put the negative sign.
Yeah, so negative times negative times negative, the odd time, the odd number is going to be negative. Okay. It's okay to get wrong. It's okay. It's not okay with not trying. This question here, it looks kind of massive, but it's not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify this part. So I'm going to do 1 over 2 x to the negative 6 y to the 12. Hopefully you get that. This is going to be 1 over 2 x to the 2 minus negative 8 is 10 y to the negative 4. And I will do that first because of order operation. Now I will just multiply those two. So it'll be 1 over 4. X to the negative 6 plus 10 is equal to 4. Y to the 8, I believe. And that's my final answer. Got it? Does that make sense? Because I can do this part. It's just -2 subtract. Wait, hold on a second. Did I do it wrong? Oh, -4. No. This is -6. This is.
Be positive on the x1 and the y. Isn't it y?
Wait, this is x to the -6 is right though.
But the y to the -4 is supposed to be +4.
Y to the which part?
-4 is supposed to be +4.
1 negative.
But it's 2 minus -2.
So this is 4. Is that right?
Yeah.
So this should be 16.
Yeah.
Yep. See, I make mistake. Thank you, Olivia. Did I get your name right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, scientific notation, you're gonna be like, oh my god, why did he give me scientific notation? It behaved just like exponent rule. If you really think about it, scientific notation, those of you guys taking AP chemistry or regular chemistry right now, you had to do with scientific notation, right? So if you do this, scientific notation has to be a times 10 to the n. Always. That a has to be between 1 and 10. Cannot be over 10, cannot be under 1. So what I'm trying to say is this. You can do this 4 and 2, that's going to give you 2 times 10 to the -7 minus -2. So -7 minus -2, that's equal to 2 times 10 to the -5, I believe. Yeah, -5. And that should be the answer. However, the second one's different. So I'm going to talk about the second one. The second one is start with today's lesson, is scientific notation. You cannot use calculator here. You had to evaluate on your end. So why did I talk about this? Because those of you guys in AP Chem or things like that, I hear 4 times 3 is 12 times 10 to the -15. But the problem is this is bigger than 10. If bigger than 10, then you had to change it. How do you change it? You're going to say 1.2 times 10 to the first times 10 to the -15. So instead of changing to 12, I'm changing to 1.2 times 10 to the 12. This is 12, right? So that's equal to 1.2 times 10 to the -14, and that should be correct answer. And that's called scientific notation. You're going to learn that in Miss DiGiorno. Yeah, I cannot pronounce her name. So yeah, so scientific notation is important, but it's related to the rules. Okay. So I will show you one more. You can divide as well. So let's say 2 times 10 to the -8 over 8 times 10 to the -5, something like this. Now 2 divided by 8 is 2 divided by 8 is 2 over 8, right? Times 10 to the -3, right? Is that okay? Minus 8 divided by subtract -5. So it's going to be -3. So that's going to be 2 over 8 is what? 1 over 4, right? Can you guys convert to fractions? What's 1 over 4? 0.25. Is that less than 1? So you had to convert again. So how do I convert? It will be 2.5 times 10 to the -1 times 10 to the -3. So it'll be 2.5 times 10 to the -4. So that's the final answer here. And that's a scientific notation there. The scientific notation says a times 10 to the n. This a has to be between 1 and 10. But if it's less than 1, you had to convert it to the new scientific notation and multiply the rest. Am I going too fast? It's okay? You learned that in science class right now, right? Your teacher probably talked about scientific notation as of right now in chemistry. No? Which teacher you have? Huh? Oh. Okay, so there it goes. If you don't know how to do that, I'm gonna go do that. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about one more application of exponent rules. Most of you guys did fairly well on exponent rule, but there's one more situation. This is a very important technique you learn in 4th grade. So in 4th grade, you learn like this, right? 1/5 plus 2/5 is equal to what? 3/5, or 1 plus 2/5, right? But the problem is, this you learn in 4th grade. Why? Because you already same denominator, numerator. But here's in high school, you learn this. And you're gonna be like, that's crazy. But it's not, because you make the problem a lot easier for you next year if you're taking calculus. So I'm gonna try say this: 6x squared y to the 4th minus 12x to the 4th y to the negative 2 plus 18x to the 2 y to the negative 5 all over 2x to the 3 y to the 4th. I say just negative 4. So how do I simplify this? Yep, because this is the a over b, so a over b plus c over b is equal to a plus c over b. But that's going backwards. So I can do this 6x, and I don't have no problem to write things out. Right, minus 12x to the 4th y to the negative 2 over 2x to the 3 y to the negative 4 plus 18x squared y to the negative 5 over 2x to the 3 y to the negative 4. I didn't do anything crazy. I just split them all up because bottom is one term. So this is also known as monomial. If bottom is monomial, in math, just split all the things up. If you split all the thing up, it becomes 3 exponent rule questions. Now we're going to go back to figure out a 3 exponent question. 6 and 2, that's going to be 3. X to the 2 minus 3 is going to be negative 1. Y to the 4 minus negative 4 is going to be 8. Minus 12 over 2 is going to be 6. 4 minus 3 is going to be x. Negative 2 minus negative 4 is going to be 2. Plus 9 x to the negative 1. Negative 5 minus negative 4, so it'll be y to the negative 1. Now all I gotta do is simplify this. And that's my final answer. I can simplify it like this. This is on the test. Some people is gonna ask me when is test, probably Thursday or Friday. I don't know which day exactly, but all this material that we are going over is all in test material. Is this hard? No? Yes? Yes, hard? Split up 3 different things and do quotient rule. So I hear that this is just x2 minus 3. That's how you get negative 1. 4 minus negative 4. That's equal to 4 plus 4. And 4 plus 4, that's how you get 8. You got it? And you do the same thing. 4 minus 3 is 1. Negative 2 minus negative 4. A problem is most of you guys don't know how to add negative number. And that's bad. Don't use calculator, by the way. Don't be at home using calculator, type it in. You're actually going to try to calculate on your own because you don't have a calculator on the test. So you're not going to get used to it. Oh yeah, another reason you should switch out of my classes. My tests never have a calculator. Is this okay? Can I move out? Okay, we're going to talk about distributing. In algebra 1 or pre-algebra, simple things, we just have to distribute something that's relatively easy. Let's just say if I have a -6 and there's a 2x squared minus y like this. If I want to distribute this, just multiply. So it'd be -12x squared. And the second one is going to be plus 6y. Is that okay? That's called distributing. Most of you guys know how to do that. Let me give you one that 90% of you guys will mess up. What's x plus 2 squared? Parentheses squared. Oh, before that, I'm going to go to here. Hold on a second. Let's say 3x plus 2 and a 4x minus 1. This one, you just make sure that this term is multiplied by 2 terms. This is called distributing. So 3x times 4x, that's equal to 12x. X times x is going to be x squared. Is that okay? Is that okay for everybody? 3x minus 1 is going to be -3x. Now the second thing is this one is going to multiply here and multiply here. It's going to be plus ax and minus 2. Now those two is can combine like terms, so it'll be 12x squared plus 5x minus 2. And that's how you multiply. So now I want you to multiply this, x plus 2 squared. Hold on a second. I know you probably know, but what's your name? Yeah, no, the white girl.
Me?
Yes,
Olivia.
Olivia. Okay. And the behind that is what?
Lily.
Lily. Okay, Olivia. Lily. If you switch C, then I'll get confused. So don't switch C.
We'll try one.
Okay, okay. Okay, so what do you think is, Olivia?
X squared plus 4x plus 4.
Did anybody get a different answer than her? Don't lie. Somebody had a different answer than her. You did?
Wait, for what?
What's the expansion of x plus 2 squared?
Oh, I thought 2x squared plus 4.
Expansion.
Yeah.
Plus 2
What does that mean?
Yeah. Oh.
So make sure that you do it right. Make sure you do x plus 2 and times x plus 2. How many of you guys got x squared plus 4? Raise your hand if you do x squared plus 4. Nobody? You did? You did? Good. Do not do that again. But I'm glad that you make those mistakes, because a lot of students in my calculus make those mistakes. I say, no, you cannot make that. So you don't be lazy. Write it out and write like this. Draw an arrow. So that's going to be x squared plus 2x. And I'm going to draw a different arrow from this too. Like this, like this. So plus 2x and plus 4. So it'll be x squared plus 4x plus 4. Is that okay? Now, some people think that's distributable. This is bad. This is bad math. And not only that it's bad math, you can actually search on Google. Right? If you search on Google, like say Google, if you just search killing puppy math, okay, and if you look at image, the first thing pop out is this. Every time you do this, a puppy die. Do not kill a puppy. Okay, do not. Because some people just think that square is going to distribute inside. It doesn't. Just write out separate term and multiply individually. I know he's not the only one. I know she's not the only one. I know there's at least 4 or 5 of you guys not willing to raise your hand. But it's normal when people do that, because in calculus class, I have seen people do that all the time. So there's no way you guys were not making that mistake. But if you didn't make that mistake, great. Stay that way. Write it out twice, expand it out correctly. So it's going to be, it's not x to the 4 plus 2 plus 9. Also, another way people always do square root x squared plus 9 is equal to x plus 3. That's also wrong as well. So every time you do this, a puppy die. I write on your test, you just kill puppy. I'm Chinese, I don't eat dogs. I don't eat puppies. Okay, so got it? I'm vegetarian, by the way. I don't eat dogs. I swear I'm vegetarian. I'm vegetarian. I'm vegetarian all my life. I don't eat meat. Don't worry. I don't eat dogs. Just people like to make fun of Chinese people eat dogs. I like to make fun of them too. I say you better watch out when you walk those dogs. Okay, so does that make sense? Don't ever do this though. If you write like this, that's wrong. Now, I understand that you don't do that, but okay, so let's do this. Let's do x plus 3, x squared plus 3x minus 4. So now the expansion gets kind of hard, and you had to combine like term. You had to be very cautious of what you're doing. So what I will do is I will start by organize this x. And I'm going to draw 3 lines to make sure I do it right. And we're going to do it together. X times the x squared is what? X to the cube, right? X times 3x is going to be 3x squared. Does that make sense? X times negative 4 is going to be negative 4x. Am I going too fast? No, okay. Good. Then I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to go to the purple. So the purple one is going to distribute here, distribute here, distribute here. So that is equal to plus, I'm sorry, that was bad. Plus 3x squared plus 9x and plus or minus 12. Now this 2 and this 2 are like term because they both have x squared term. They are called like term. So this will become 6x to the square. Do not make x to the 4 because they are adding. So 3x squared plus 3x squared, they both are x squared, but the exponent do not add because you're not multiplying those two. Does that make sense? So then that's going to be plus 5x because those two is going to be plus 5x minus 12. Got it? Now here's the thing. What is 2x plus 3 to the 3rd power? Yes.
Can you go back up?
Sure. So we're gonna do it together. The first thing I will do is actually write out 3 times. Do you guys write out 3 times? If you guys write out 3 times, you already start the right footing. So what I'm gonna do is I can expand anyway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take care of those two things, or I can take care of those two things. Doesn't really matter which order I do it. That's gonna be 2x plus 3. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna multiply this. So I'm gonna take this term, I multiply this and this. 2x times 2x equal to 4x squared. 2x times 3 is 6x. I'm gonna use the red color here. This one multiply here, this multiply here. It's gonna be plus 6x and plus 9. Now what happened is, I don't want to do a 4 term times 2 term. I rather did 3 term times 2 term. Why? Because this is called like term. I can add them together before I multiply. Does that make sense? So that's equal to 4x squared plus 12x plus 9 all over 2x plus 3. Now, the same way you multiply the other way. You just want to make sure every term touch each other. So what I'm doing is I make sure this term touch 1 and 2. Does that make sense? So what's 4x squared times 2x? ax cubed, right? And what's 4x squared times 3? Plus 12x squared. Now I'm going to use a green color to represent the second part. This one's going to times two things. So that's going to be 12x times 2x is going to be 24x squared. Thank you so much. 12x times 3 is what? 36x. 9 times 2 is going to be 18x. Right, so the last one, sorry, I'm going to do a last one here. This one, sorry, purple. This one's going to times this. And then plus 27. If they have the same exponent, they can add together. So ax cubed has no same exponent, but those two have same exponent. The exponent does not add together because you're adding. So it's going to be 36x to the square plus 54x and plus 27. And that should be done. And that's the expansion. How many you got to the A? Very, very good. Very good. Very hard, but very, very difficult. But is anything that you don't understand you want me to clarify? Yes.
Can you go for scientific notation?
Sure. Which one?
Um,
The one with divide or multiplying? Division?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say if I have a 3 over times 10 to the negative 11 over 12 times 10 to the negative 54. I don't know why I choose 54, but okay. So this one just simplify, right? That's going to be 1 and 4, right? So it'll be 1 over 4 times 10 to the negative 11 minus negative 54. So 1 over 4 times 10 to the negative 11 plus 54. I have no idea what is that. I think it's 43. And this is 0.25. Is that okay? 1 over 4 is 0.25. I can convert this because 0.25 is not between 1 and 10. It's less than 1. So I'm going to do I'm going to do 2.5 times 10 to the negative 1. And times 10 to the 43. That's equal to 2.5 times 10 to the 42. And that will be away. If it's greater than 10, then I can change that. Yes.
So every time you have to like convert something that's less than 1, you have to times it by 10 and negative 1.
Yeah. Because 2.5 times 10 to the negative 1, that just means 0.25. That means 2.5. You move the decimal this way, so it'll be 0.25. Does that make sense? If you move this way, it's negative. If you move the other way, it's positive. So that just says, let's say 3.4 times 10 to the 3. That means 3.4. You move 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. So be 0, 0. So be 3,400. So that's also another way to do 3.4 times 10 to the 3. If you move this way, it's positive. The other way is negative. Because the number is smaller. If smaller, it's going to be negative. Smaller than 1 is negative. Question so far? How much time I have? 4 minutes. Okay. I'm going to talk about Pascal triangle. So I'm going to talk about this. But this one, you're going to probably watch a video a little bit more. 2x plus 3 to the third power. We already have an answer for this. We all know the expansion. I'm going to show you a second way to do it. The second way is called Pascal triangle. It's called, also known as binomial expansion. Binomial expansion. Or people know as Pascal triangle. Pascal triangle is built like this. 1, 1, 1. Have you seen this before? 1, 2, 1. Because basically just add us to a number. 1, 3, 3, 1. So since this is 3, I'm going to use 1, 3, 3, 1. So it'll be 1, 3, 3. Okay, I'm going to drag this down a little bit. 1, 3, 3, 1. I'm going to say this is A, this is B. So A is equal to 2x, B is equal to 3. Sometimes B could be negative. So what you're going to do is you're going to put this A to the 3, B to the 0, A to the square, B to the first, A to the first, B to the second. Last one is B to the third. And you're going to add everything. Now all you got to do is substitute. 2x to the third, b to the 0, which is 3 to the 0. Anything to the 0 power is what? Plus 3 times 2x to the square times b, which is 3 to the 1, right? Plus 3, 2x to the first, 3 to the 2. Plus b, which is 3 to the third. So now this means 2 to the third power, which is 8x to the third. Next one is 3 times 4 times 3. What's 3 times 4 times 3? 3 times 4 times 3 is 36. So it's 36x squared. Plus 9 times 2, 18. 18 times 3 is 54. And plus 27. See, this is the second one to do it. It's called Pascal triangle. I'm going to ask you to try at home. You can watch a video if it is. Tomorrow we're going to go through if this is a minus sign. Minus sign is no different. Just put a minus sign. Everything's going to be the same. You only have 3 minutes. You can try this question. So 2x plus 1 to the 4th power. Now you need to build one more line to the triangle, okay? I'll help you just in case. 4, 6, 4, 1. So write down the coefficient first with different color. And just write down, one is going to go down the power and one's going to go up to the power from 0. One start with the 4th power going down, the other one's from the 0 power going up. And if you do it correctly, you should come out the right answer. It's called binomial expansion. How many of you guys learned that in Algebra 2? Oh, good. So it's not the first time you see this. I just explained much quicker. Now we're gonna learn how to factor something. Factor, but we're gonna learn all this part factor too. So we are about in. We're still in algebra 1. I'm gonna record it just in case you go check your answers.
This you
On
get.
the test, that one question I was just
Yes.
Can you explain how to do number 5?
Yeah, give me a second. Let me finish this. Is that okay?
You don't understand. Well, I was gonna ask about that too, is like I got it, but I got it. Yeah, I got it by. Wait, I Mr. Ye like whipped up my. Oh my god. No, that's me. I'm like deep. Oh yeah, same.
Is there a point to come to tutoring if you're in pre-calc, or you guys are doing more of stuff that we can like learn you?
I think this stuff's still not too hard yet. When it get harder, yeah, you should come. And then by then, calculus group's gonna be much smaller. And calculus group you can still come.
Am I gonna be lost if I come to tutoring like right now or like the next 2 days, like with whatever calculus goes like over and?
Oh, you want to learn about calculus?
No, I mean, am I gonna be lost if I come to tutoring, even though I'm pre-calc?
Yeah, at very beginning, yes.
Okay.
But maybe they start in like next week
Okay.
when the class is gonna get smaller, hopefully.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
I usually close at around 3:30 or 4 o'clock.
Can you redo number 5? I still don't understand. It's because like, I don't know. I don't even think I did it.
You see how we like if we did
Yeah.
like 1 over that? You just need to put the 2 over the 3 like you wrote it right.
Which one?
Number 5.
The other
Okay, so what I did is I simplified those two. I simplified those two.
I got 2 over 50.
Good. And I simplified those two again.
It was
So you should get -1.
yeah. So I just put it over 1.
what I did
No, now it's -1.
like the thing
Oh.
Okay, now it's to the 2/3 power. So now this becomes multiply in.
Okay.
It'll be 27 to -2/3. So 27. So this is -2/3, right?
Okay.
So I forgot to write down this. Oh no, I didn't do write down yet because I haven't distributed it. And then that's gonna be 27 to the -2/3 x to the, this 2 is gonna multiply, so it'll be 4 over 45. So 2 over 15 times 2 over 3rd, so that's 4 over 45. And then -1 times -2/3 is 2/3.
What did you do? And then negative.
-2/3 times -1 is going to be positive. Now you see the negative exponent is going to
But
switch
isn't
sides.
this? Isn't that -2?
No, this is going to be 2 times 2 is 4, and this is 45. Top times bottom, bottom times bottom.
But isn't that negative?
Yeah, this 2 over 5, 2 over 15 times this.
Oh, so the negative doesn't count.
It's negative, so you see this negative. Positive times negative is negative. Hold on, let me finish it. Now the negative exponent is going to switch to the bottom, become positive.
And then
Can I get my test score?
55.
75?
55.
55 dubs.
Did I leave my water bottle here?
Can I please grade for 10 points extra credit? I don't care about my own. I actually don't want it to be my own.
You can do this?
No, I didn't change the grade. Hold on to it.
Are you gonna change the grade?
If it doesn't work, I don't turn in.
So you remember to end the live stream.